Hold on to your mug. We're in for a wild night.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Born to be Wild listener series. For those of you not familiar, this is a weekly Wild Hearthstone tournament with special deck building restrictions associated with the Born to be Wild podcast. We are currently in season 3, week 3. Despite what is on my screen, it is not Maxibon versus Duo Cat. My bad. Tonight we are witnessing an epic matchup between Bane and BenFromWork. So this will be a lot of fun tonight. I am joined by my podcast co-host Electric Sheep City. Sheep, how are you doing today?
Meowdy, fantastic. Just had a great podcast with you, Hydra and Cyberon, and ready to cast this fantastic match.
Yeah, I'm excited. And we do have a special guest caster today, straight from the podcast. Welcome to casting the Cyberon. How are you doing today?
Yeah, doing good, man. Actually, now I'm waiting for lunch to come. It's on the way to my house, but I'll be chilling around here and just commenting on the game here and there.
Hey, that's exciting. Yeah, we're excited to have you. So let's jump right in to the rules of this format. So for those of you who are not familiar, the format of the series is Conquest. To play a round of Conquest, each player selects one of their decks to use for the first game. This is a bring 4 decks, ban 1. Any deck that wins a game cannot be selected for the remainder of the round, meaning that the winning player must move on to a different deck. The losing player may switch decks, but they're not required to. The winner of the entire round is the first player to win using each of their decks. So you have to win with all 3. And then getting into this week's special restrictions. So there are special restrictions for each week. This week's special deck building restrictions are called keyword CRAZE. I'm very excited because we have received various deck building restriction submissions from our players and the wild community in general. And the person who submitted this week's deck building restrictions is the Cyberon who is helping us cast tonight's match. This week is called keyword CRAZE. Decks must contain at least one card with each of the following keywords: Divine Shield, Taunt, Stealth, Windfury, Charge, Rush, Lifesteal, Battlecry, and Deathrattle. With a special note that each keyword counts per different card. For example, if you've got 2 Anoyotrons, which have both Divine Shield and Taunt, that only counts as either Divine Shield or Taunt, not both. And so, many times you'll see a card that has multiple keywords on it, but they only count once per card. Also, there are several banned cards for this week to try to avoid a meta deck in Handbuff Paladin, which are Grime Street Outfitter, Alliance Bannerman, and Glowstone Technician. That being said, let's pass the mic over to Electric Sheep City to look at this week's decks.
Yeah, so we've got, first up, Bane's decks. So Bane brought a banned Highlander Shutterwalk Shaman. So we won't be seeing that, but it looks pretty kickin' rad. And Embiggen Druid, which I personally am a really big fan of. I love that Arcane Golem there and the Argent Horse Rider. I think this was a better build than mine even. Kudos there. A Mech Paladin. Oh, hey, I brought one of those as well. So this is also a different build than I brought, but is pretty awesome. So can't wait to see that in action. And rounding out with a Mechathune Warlock.
Oh, spicy. All right.
So that's going to be really exciting. Can't wait to see that Mechathune Warlock in action. So, as I said, Bane's Shaman was banned, but that brings us over to BenFromWork's decks. BenFromWork brought a Cataclysm Demon Seed Warlock. That one was banned, so we won't have to watch that one.
Rats.
Ben also brought an Ignite Sanctum Chandler Mage.
Ooh.
So can't wait to see that one in action. We've got some things like Wolf Rider to meet the charge requirement, as well as things like Thrallmar Farseer for the Wind Fury requirement and Escaped Mana Saber for the stealth. So can't wait to see that one in action. That's going to be pretty clutch. Also brought a Pirate Questline Warrior with, of course, Ziliax and Skycap and Crag and Talon Fordring. So looks like a pretty solid list. And rounding out BenFromWork's list is an Elemental Shaman. Actually, a very similar Elemental Shaman to the one that I brought taking down Nate Wolfe yesterday evening. So
Can confirm.
Can't wait to
Very nice, very nice. So these lists look
Yeah.
like a lot of fun. I'm excited.
Absolutely. So that is it for our lists around these parts. I can let our participants know that they are ready to go whenever y'all are ready as well.
Ready to rock and roll whenever they're good to go. Oh, one thing that I should mention, I've been mentioning the past couple of weeks, when we start the matches, you will see on the screen, you'll see their player portraits in the left corners of the screen, surrounded by the hero powers representing each deck. There is an X placed over the deck that was banned. As the players win a match with their particular deck, they will get a green check mark over the hero power indicating that they have one with that class, meaning they cannot play it anymore. And what you're looking for is the player to get the 3 green checks. And so, yeah, be on the lookout.
And we are in. So we've got Bane with the aggro druid versus Ben with that pirate warrior.
Wow, that's a pretty strong starting hand for Ben with the parachute brigand in hand. So looking good.
Yeah, and good mull from Bane.
I missed it. Was Bane running in Biggins in his deck?
Yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately, did not grab one. Oh, but it's not running patches. I missed that whenever we were reviewing those.
Interesting.
And raid the docks on one. Strong play. Now to see. Yeah, Bane's going to go wide. Love to see it.
Yeah, you almost need to, I think, with the aggro shaman. And look at, I like Speaker Girdra in the deck. This will get the Windfury requirements for Bane. It's also a pretty fun deck, coupled with like, if Bane can wait a turn and play it on 4 with the Living Roots, it can get buffed a little bit, which would be fun. I imagine he probably just plays Crab Rider next turn, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I kind of like Gidra this coming turn, followed up with Living Roots so that he can immediately push the extra Windfury damage.
Right. No, that makes sense. And I think, you know, Ben will probably struggle clearing it if Bane is able to play it uncontested.
Yeah, and looking at Ben's hand, looks like it'll be pretty uncontested. Oh, and looks like I have a spectator bug myself, so I'm going to have to bounce out and come back because I see the Bane queuing up things. And oh, it could be the Patches bug. Patches very well could have been pulled.
Oh, maybe. Here, I'm going to quit real quick as well, and I'll jump back in.
I bet that's what happened. Oh, and it looks like Bane has played in Biggin because they've got a Bloodsail Corsair that's a 3/4 in their hand. And they're clearing out a Ziliax on board. They've still got 3 mana left over, 2 mana for the Bloodsail Corsair. It looks like they're thinking about holding it or playing it onto the board. Ben does not have anything on board and has not yet completed the first stage of his quest line. So it's very possible. Yeah, Bane decides to hold the Bloodsail Corsair for value next turn alongside that Ankar that Ben is going to draw. Heads up play there.
All right, I'm back. Here we go.
Excellent. And a slight punish as Ben is not immediately playing the Ankar. So Bane might just be holding on to this Bloodsail Corsair unless he decides to play it for minimal value, even though he knows that Ben just drew the Ankar. So I bet we'll see the Bloodsail Corsair stay in hand since he held on to it last turn. Oh, no, plays it. Okay. Can't argue with a 3/4.
True that. I mean, I almost wonder if Ben drops the Sword Eater here just because it's a big taunt.
Yeah. I like it because it then enables him to trade pretty cleanly into that 4/3.
Yeah.
And then Bane can, I guess, on board clear the minion, but has to use his hero power and no longer can clear it.
Wow, Ben's health is so low, but like Bane's top decking, and so it's gonna present some issues.
Yeah, if Bane can draw their Voracious Reader here shortly, then they'll be in good shape. But until that point, it's on a knife's edge.
Oh, look at this. I like the Sneaky Delinquent as the stealth choice here too, because it's so aggressively statted. You start seeing Ben hero powering every turn as well, and I imagine Ben probably drops the Ankar next turn, well, because that's the only card in his hand, but also for some pretty good refill.
Yeah, I bet we see that as well, and Bane just going wide as much as he can. Oh, the Ankar with the upgrade. Love to see it if you're Ben.
Yeah.
Nice.
And trading with his face or with the minion? Yeah, with his face. Oh, and Skycap and Crag, not what Ben wants to see here. But with Bane top decking, he's not really in too bad a position anyway.
Yeah, this is a little rough, and like knowing Ben, I'm tempted to think he's gonna just start shipping everything face.
Yeah, it's really tempting to put the 3/1 into the 4/3.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he gets kind of baited into that one. Ooh, and Cap and Rikara coming down.
Oh, yeah, he probably does want to trade into the 4/3. And look at only 4 mana for Crag too. That's so good.
Oh, and he does in fact chip it all face. There it is.
Classic Ben. But look at this, only 5 health left. I mean, this is tricky. I have to feel for Bane a little bit. I think that there's no way to recover from that.
Yeah, that was definitely checkmate.
Yeah. All
And
right.
put
Well,
him in the position to get there.
so Ben gets the win with the Pirate Warrior.
Yeah, so now Ben still has the Chandler Mage and the Elemental Shaman left to win with.
I'm really excited to see that Chandler Mage too. I mean, we were talking about it on the show earlier a little bit, and I was complaining. You know, it's tricky. It's tricky to pilot this effectively, and but Ben has always been a good player, especially a noted Mizaki Mage player, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if Ben could knock it out of the park with similar playstyle deck.
Oh yeah. But he elects into playing his Elemental Shaman this go around, and Bane is jamming that Mechathune Warlock. You will see that there's no Demon Seed in the deck, so not even an option to keep in the mulligan for Bane. And jamming the Dragonhawk on one. Have to play a Windfury minion, and that's one you can get rid of with Himmet, and if you don't get rid of it with Himmet, then it's a 1/1. All right.
I mean, the goal here really is to kind of stall out, right? Draw your whole deck, and well, there you go. We see getting that extra draw with the Mortal Coil, so I guess the Dragonhawk did its job.
Yeah, and holding on to the target dummy, likely for a Plague of Flames should it come up later. Yeah, so the list of restrictions.
Bane does. So Bane wants to draw his whole deck. I was gonna say I think we'll see another Mortal Coil come down because of the 1 health minion here. 2 Defiles in hand of Bane as well. I'm kind of curious. Like, I assume the game plan is to try to draw through the deck as quick as possible. And look, we're this is turn 4, and already Bane has drawn through 50% of his deck. There's only 15 cards left, so.
And Ben just shipping that Doomhammer face.
Well, and yeah, I guess flipping for a second to look at Ben's hand, he's got the Rockbiter weapon in hand, which is going to do a ton of damage. He's got Lightning Bolt, he's got Crackle, and the Storm Strike. And so I imagine with Bane's health being this low, sort of in the danger zone.
Yeah, I kind of was hoping to see that target dummy come down for Bane, but looks like not going to be too terribly punished. That Wax Elemental definitely putting a speed bump for Ben. Thinking with the Storm Strike that we may see a Storm Strike come down as well. Storm Strike, Crackle, but been electing to deal with that on board.
I mean, at 8 health, like, I think we almost need to see Bane play one of these Bristlebarks, but they're not proccing quite yet. I mean,
yeah, he's gonna need to tap in order to activate it, but in order to do that, he's gonna have to dump probably the target dummy.
yeah. It's not, I mean, it's not clear. Ben's got so much damage from hand. I don't know how Bane is going to pull this off. He's so close, too. But
Yeah, especially with that Himmet in hand. Yeah, if he just taps without Himmeting, then he could mill the Mechathune, which would be game over for sure.
I think we want to see the target dummy drop for sure, just because of the weapon here.
Yeah. Oh, not punished. Oh, and missed the 2 damage with the Kobold Librarian. That's not how he was winning anyway. But Ben with the Storm Strike and the Rockbiter weapon is going to be pushing lethal even before the Lightning Bolt. Just a little bit of trying to tilt his opponent to gain that tactical advantage.
Wow, good games. I mean, that was tricky, and Bane was so close there.
Truly was.
All right, so current score is 2-0. Ben from work. We'll still need to win with that that sort of Chandler Ignite. Janky Mage. I want to look back at this deck real quick while they're queuing up.
Yeah, so he's got a Thrallmar Farseer, a Wolf Rider, a Bone Wraith.
Interesting.
Love this shit. Escaped Mana Saber, Fell Soul Inquisitor, Sandbinder, Varden Dawngrasp, Wishwood Piper, which is pretty core already, and Talon Fordring. And Bane with Mechathune in opening hand. I would say you hate to see it, but with the Mithril Rod, maybe you don't hate to see it quite as much.
Yeah,
if you can survive long enough to actually get the benefit from the rod.
it is a little bit of a slow opening hand from Bane, but like also looking at Ben's hand is pretty bad. I mean, it's all spells. I guess on turn 3 we'll probably see the minion drop.
Yeah, and Bane recognizing that he wants to discount that Mechathune, so coining out the Runed Mithril Rod on 2, with 2 draws here on 3, or we could also see the Dark Skies. I bet we see Immortal Coil come down in conjunction with that 2-1. Yeah, draw through as much of the deck as you possibly can.
Nice.
Makes sense.
Come dance to my
And Piper on 4. Got Girl in hand, and there's a hand discount.
I hope you like my invention.
And draws online. Ooh,
Wow.
and the Hemet. Okay.
Oh, it's on now. I was a little nervous, but I think now with the Hemet in hand, and Bane's got pretty much the combo here with the Mechathune and the Cataclysm.
Yeah, just 2 more turns of draws even. Can Mechathune Cataclysm on 10? Because Mechathune will be down to 8, Cataclysm will be down to 2. He just has to live to turn 10.
Yeah, that's a serious question. Okay, so Plague of Flames coming down to clear the board, and I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'm curious if Bane wants to go much lower health-wise.
Yeah, at 18, I kind of want to just see him just chill. But at the same time, Chandler Mage doesn't exactly run a kind of critical mass of threats. Ben's just kind of thrown the deck restrictions minions in to make it work. So I could see him tap here, but with caster vision, I think I'd like to see him just pass. It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, so the earliest that Bane can do the combo is turn 10, right? I mean, he needs 10 mana. So he's going to have to stall out for another 5 turns. I mean...
And with double Dark Skies, I think it's kind of possible.
Yeah. We're being asked in chat, what is the Mechathune combo? So Bane has got a basically draw through his entire deck, with which Hemet is about to do. Hemet will destroy most of Bane's deck, and then what Mechathune says is, if you have no cards in your deck, hand, and battlefield, destroy the enemy hero. That's the Deathrattle. And so, okay, there's only one card left in Bane's deck. Wow. Now, I mean, like you were saying, Bane can stall a little bit with the Dark Skies and the Defile.
Oh, and if he plays both Kobold Librarian and Novice Engineer, can actually full gen into Cataclysm.
Oh.
So that'll be 7-9 instead of 10. So
Wow.
so doesn't do it immediately. Alternatively, could roll the dice and just drop Vol'jin now.
Someday I'll be just like you. Someday I'll be just
But yeah, Ben's
Oh
Ben's got
my
a Chandler
goodness.
turn.
Can
He's
he
going
do
off.
it right now?
I think he might be able to.
What?
Moment of truth. Because he's got Hot Streak, he's got First Flame, which thus means Second Flame as well, so he can just draw his deck. Ice Block is inconsequential. I think I would have probably liked to see Ben just hold on to Ice Block rather than play it out. I understand the snap pick of playing it out, but yeah, the Mechathune does not care about.
Oh, and he is just not drawing the ignites yet. All right, there's the first one.
There's one. And let's see what he draws. Molten Reflection. Okay, that's a fire spell, so that continues the chain. And another Molten Reflection coming down. And
He might run out of time.
he might. It depends. It all depends on how much he's already queued up. Another Ignite.
Yeah, the rope has finished burning. We'll see how much Ben was able to do APM wise on his turn.
Yeah, because he actually doesn't have to do as much as you would think.
Oh yeah, Bane's health was
Bane?
already relatively low.
Yeah, and Bane did a really good job of kind of setting it up, but he was so low that even the fatigue. Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Oh, so close. Wow. Okay, well, there we have it.
So fast and furious match with BenFromWork throwing down that Chandler Mage, getting it done. Gosh, what was that? 7 mana?
Yeah, that was, I mean, I didn't see it, and then he just went all in, and there we had it. That's incredible. I thought that Bane had it for sure.
And I don't think Ben definitely read that Bane was going to win the very next turn.
Right.
So he had to go for it, whether he would have otherwise or not, and was rewarded for that read because he was dead the very next turn. And there it is. That's all she wrote.
Right? Wow. I mean, we were talking about it a little bit earlier in the show, and I was kind of complaining that the deck was tricky to pilot, and you really have to move fast. And I didn't, I didn't see it until Ben decided to go all in, and like, wait a minute, oh, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have. Wait a minute, does he have it? Oh my gosh, I think he has it. Was not expecting that.
All right. So it looks like we've got a post-game interview. Bane has already confirmed their availability. if Ben can join as well, we would love to chat with them both. Fantastic games, y'all. Congratulations, Ben and Bane. Oh, we thought you had it in the very end, right there. Well played to both of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Obviously, I wish it went a little bit better than that, but yeah.
Oh man, we thought you had it for sure. Like we saw the combo and like, oh wow, look, you got everything discounted. Oh, here it comes. Oh, here's Hemet. And that was so close. So close.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt.
Sorry, no, it never feels good to be on the receiving end of that. And then you watch the rope start burning down and it's like, oh, does he have enough? Does he have enough? Oh man.
Yeah, I think to Ben's credit, I mean that's a really good way to kind of filter out the bad cards, I guess. Like really tutor them over and over again, which I think is really smart in retrospect, I guess. So, yeah, congrats.
Hello?
Hey, there we
There you
go.
are.
Hey, good games, Ben.
Yeah, good games to him, too. That last game, I just went all in. I had to hope, because I knew I was screwed the next turn.
Yeah, I mean, what you had to think after Hemet came down and there were no cards left that like, and Rod had already gone off twice.
Yeah. I was like, well, I better hope I draw good.
On our end from spectating, like the rope fully burned and you kept going for another 30 seconds or so and it was like, does he have it? Does he have it? Does he not have it? We don't know. And then we saw the cards being played and we were like, that's not Ignite. That's not Ignite. Oh, there's one. That's not Ignite. And that was crazy.
At the end, we even heard the rope like kind of ka-chunk, which means that you didn't get lethal that turn.
Yeah, I barely got it off.
And then the fatigue damage hit, and we were like, "Oh,
Man, that was a nail biter."
Well, I would have had to have played the 2-1 anyway, so that would have been another three damage.
All credit for the Mage deck, because I had most of my lineup, but that deck, I'm not going to sit here and lie, I stole from Jordan, and apparently him and 6J worked on it. So that deck is all credit to him.
Well, we all know 6J is one of the best Mozaki Mage players like in existence, and so Ignite Mage is not a far stretch from that.
I knew I wanted 3 decks, and I was testing with people, and I tested against Jordan, and he killed me with that Mage. I'm like, can I steal that, please?
Jordan MVP. All right, we'd love to see it.
no, it's Jordan MG."
Oh my goodness, that's great. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, any thoughts on the rest of the matches?
They were great games. I didn't expect to sweep. That's for sure. Bane, I think, beat me last season, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels like a long time ago. Yeah, I thought that Warrior deck was something that I definitely overlooked. Like that, really solid deck. I thought my Mechathune deck was probably my second best deck after the Reno Shaman. But yeah, I think your Shaman deck was a bit of a surprise to me. I didn't expect to be kind of burned down. Yeah.
Best ring, but I was like, I can bring Doomhammer. I'm bringing Doomhammer.
Yeah,
which worked
Ben,
out really well.
If you watch the replay later, Ben, I at one point Bane had minions on board, and I was like, I bet you Ben's just gonna start going phase. Like,
I
was in a really awkward space where like I had 11 cards in deck and 2 of the, I think it's called the Bristleback, the Lifesteal deal 6 damage things.
Yeah, I was
I'm
like,
like, I
that's
have to draw 1 card.
yeah, we saw that.
Oh no, I'm on stream.
I put down the
I'm
3-1 stealth just in case you had a taunt.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm on stream. Like, I'm definitely going to burn Mechathune, aren't I? And it's not going to be obvious why.
Oh man, I mean, it turned out to. I think it was the 1/1 charger, but yeah, that was tricky. we're like, well, you need the health. How are you gonna get the? But you need to draw at least one card, so you got a life tap, and I mean it's different. We've got caster vision; we can see both hands, and sitting here counting damage from Ben's hand, it's like, oh wait a minute, this is a lot.
It was so much.
So that Doomhammer came in clutch, Ben.
Yeah, that was cool. I just like Doomhammer. I always liked the card, and I had a chance to bring it, so brought it.
Oh yeah. And with the elemental shell around it, just incredible.
Well, yeah, I don't like to trade much, so yeah. Me no stupid, me go face.
Well, and especially against a Mechathune Warlock, like they don't play a ton of minions, so any face damage you can get, you definitely want to take.
Yeah.
I almost think every single week, I always think is Megathune good, because it's a good way to just destroy all the bad cards in your deck. But yeah, anyway, I gave it a go.
I didn't think I was going to get there with that Mage. I thought I wasn't going to pull that last one off. I really didn't. I was like on the line.
Well, I mean, I think you have to play to your outs, right? And you were in the position where you got to go all in or you're going to lose. So, I mean, guess you got to do it. And it happened
Maybe
to work out.
Probably should have taken that 50-50 with the Mechathune at the end there.
Oh, with the Vol'jin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know if that's the right play either. Who knows?
I mean, I didn't have lethal. I had to top deck the Chandler, so.
If I had knew that, I definitely would have done it. Anyway, that's the way it goes.
Oh man. Well, hey, thank you for playing in the series. Thank you for letting us cast your match. It's always a lot of fun, and really both of you are very, very talented players, and so it's really fun watching take a look at your lineup and watch you guys play games. And so I really had a great time and appreciate both of you allowing us to cast the match.
No problem.
Yeah, thanks very much. It's a lot of fun as usual.
Excellent.
Yep. Thanks for putting it on. It's a fun series. Something better than Ladder.
Yeah, Ladder's a little rough at the moment. That's admittedly.
I didn't even. I just started playing a little bit of Wild like 2 days ago, but I started in Standard.
Yeah. Well, hopefully some changes incoming. I guess we'll see what next week has in store for us. So.
That's right. I broke Standard with this Demon Seed. I'm not gonna lie. Demon Seed's broken and everything.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Wiser words have never been spoken.
And you heard that on Born to Be Wild. All right, you guys. Well, I think that about wraps it up for us. Yeah.
Yeah, thank y'all both very much for playing in the series and for letting us cast your match. It was a blast to watch, and down to the wire in that last game. That was intense. So thank y'all so much.
Thank you. Good night.
All right.
Thanks,
Take
guys.
it easy, guys. Have a great one.